Good evening. Now, I'm going to do a few more things on this restoration this evening. One of the things I'm going to do is put some new bass feet onto the bass side. Now, the old ones were just random selection and didn't match, and I put some new bass feet. I have just put some new muslin and just stuck that onto the back just to make a nice neat finish of that. Now I did have a little bit of an issue on here because the holes that the old bass feet screws were getting quite big, and so if I put a new screw in there it wasn't catching. So what I've actually done is got a cocktail stick, put some wood glue on it, stuck it into the old holes, let it dry, snip it off and sand it, so then I'm going to actually make some new holes for the bass feet on the bass side because the old holes were just too big. So I've done that. So I'm going to get the bass feet in, and so to do that, first of all you've got to attach the bass panel, making sure that you catch the bass button in the hole. Hang on a minute. There you go. Otherwise it doesn't work. So that fits in nice. So now I've got my new bass feet. So just a second, which I just ordered from CGM Musical. So just black rubber feet with new screws and everything. So what I'm going to do now is get my little Bradle thingamajiggy, and I'm just going to start off the new holes before I screw in the bass feet. So that should be nice and straightforward. So I'll use the holes on the bass panel as my guide, and then I'm going to go through, make a little starter hole, and then that will allow me to put the bass feet in. So that's just quite a simple job really, just marking some holes, making a little starter hole, and then screwing the bass feet in. So I'll just do that and I'll show you when I've done it. Okay, there we are. So the bass feet all nicely on. That's all looking nice and tidy. So now that can actually sit for the first time on its own feet. There we are. Tidy. Right, now the next thing is going to do some taping of the bellows. Now the bellows are in pretty good shape, but there's a couple or some corners in particular which have lost a bit of their bellows tape, and what that's meaning is that the corners will become slightly fragile because that bellows tape is holding the corners on. So I'll try and hold this up a little bit. It's difficult to see. I'll get it in closer and I'll show you. Let me just change the camera angle. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, now if I could just use my little pointing thing here. I've already patched this one here, but this bellows corner here, the bellows tips come off, so just worn away. That one, that one, that one, and that one. And what that means is that bellows corner is at risk of coming off because the bellows tape's going to hold it in place. So I've got some gold bellows tape. You can see here I've made a little patch and glue that one on. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue on patches on these corners as well, and I'll just show you how I do that. Okay, so to get these bellows corners patched, I've got some gold bellows tape, which is quite a similar, well, it's a really good match for the bellows tape that's already on there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a square of bellows tape. So this just got a square, and I'm going to use good old fast tack glue, which is used for so many different things, but this works really well. So I'm going to cut 4 squares of bellows tape just for now, and we'll just cut some more in a bit. And the glue, I'll get that out in a second. And then to hold things in place, I've got these brilliant little clamps, these spring clamps. These are really good, and they're going to hold the bellows corner, the bellows patch over the bellows corner. So let me get some glue onto my little lid. Yeah, this is really good stuff. So let's just put some of this on here. There we go. Hooray. Enough of that. And I find my hang on a minute, just bring it up a little bit. Find my corner that I'm going to do. So I'm going to do one of these. So easy peasy. I'm going to get my special glue application system, which is my little finger, and just going to fully cover the patch in this special glue. There we are. And then find the corner that you're going to patch and just basically open up the bellows and offer up the patch, but try to make sure that the patch is in line with the bellows tape which is already in place, so that you've got a nice straight line when you come to look at it in the end. So make sure everything lines up, and then just going to hold that, get that, wiggle that into position. There we go. And once that's in position, I'm going to get my little clamp. There we are. In fact, I can get two on there. That will just hold it on nice. There we go. And that's it. Now I'm going to leave that for about 20 minutes and not do anything to it, and then I'll do the next one. So I don't want to do more than one because the clamps will get in the way of each other and knock each other off. So I just leave those ones on for 20 minutes, and then I'll do a few more, and I'll go around all of the bellows looking at the corners, and where any corners are looking at risk because the bellows tape has come off, then I'll put some little patches on. Okay, so I'll show you when I've done all the patches. Okay, so I've got some more patches doing. While I'm just waiting to finish off all the little corner patches, because I've just got to wait to again remove the clamps, I'm going to do another little job, and that little job is the bellows gasket. So what I'm going to do is replace this leather, which is going all the way around the bellows frame on both sides. I'm going to replace that, and I'm going to replace it with this. This is 7mm bellows gasket. 5mm just a little bit too narrow, so I like to have it, covering the width of the frame where it has to go, so it has to cover that. So I've got some 7mm, which I think is going to be a really good fit. So it's self-adhesive bellows gasket, and I got this from CGM Musical. Really good place to get your accordion repair spares. So all I'm going to do now is take off the existing gasket. So I just got my trusty Swiss Army knife, and I'm just going to let's go here so you can see. Lift it up, and then depends on how it's been stuck on, but sometimes it can peel off really easy, like this one. Sometimes it doesn't. And so this is a very straightforward little task. I'm just going to peel off all the old leather gasket. Once it's all peeled off, ooh, look at that, that comes off quite nice. I'm going to get some sandpaper and just make it nice and smooth and free from dust, and then I'm going to apply the new gasket. So just give me a second to get rid of all of this and give it a little sand. Yay. And then I'll to show you how I fix on the new gasket. Okay, turn the foot down a little bit. I'm going to start putting on the bellows gasket, and what I do is start in the middle of one of the long edges, and I'm going to go all the way around and finish there, and just peel off a little bit of the backing paper at a time, and just get it on as straight as possible, butting up against the inside of the frame here, nice and straight, and applying a little bit of tension, not pulling it really tight, but applying a little bit of tension to it as you place it down. So that's kind of going all the way around there, and then to go around the corner, just simply carefully apply a gentle back pressure to bend it around the corner, and again just keep going, making sure you're pushing it all the way in to the inside of the bellows frame, and then just carefully go around the corners so that it's all nice and flat. There we go, and this is looking nice and neat. Again, just a bit of tension, pushing it all the way in. Gently around the corner. That should be back towards the beginning now, so pushing all the way nice down. A bit more, and then when I get to the beginning, I'm just going to cut it just a little bit over where it started by about 1 centimetre, so then I can actually really get it exact when I've just, you know, finishing off the job. Just going to just carefully store this tape for the other side, and then so when I get to here it just slightly overlaps, and just get some sharp scissors and I can just make a really good cut, nice and straight, so that is a really nice little finish. In fact, I'm just going to go a tiny bit shorter than that. Just take a mil. There we go. Yes, there we go. And end it with a really nice finish. So that's one side done. It's really quite easy, but you just have to be careful. Just take your time and make sure you get it nice and neat. And also, the important thing is preparing the bellows frame first. Get rid of all the old gasket, sand, get rid of all the dust, so then everything sticks down properly. Okay, that's that one done. So I'll do the exact same thing to the other side, and I'll show you when I've done that one. Okay, there we are. So that's all the bellows gasket done. So that's all ready for fitting right together. So I'm just going to crack on a bit more with this little patches on the bellows. So I'll do that, and I'll show you that when I've done all of them as well. Okay, I'm still doing some patches, and there, just kind of working my way around. I'll show you those in a second. But while I'm waiting for those patches to dry, I'm going to do the bellows pins. So these bellows pins, they're all pretty good shape, but they're just a bit surface rusty. So I'm just going to cut some 400 grit sandpaper into little squares. I'm just going to get the surface rust off all of these and get them looking nice and shiny again, and as well as looking nicer, getting the rust off the actual pin means that when it goes into the accordion it goes in much better without sticking. So I'm going to get those nice and shiny as well. So yeah, another little job, just cleaning up the bellows pins. Right, okay, I'll get cracking on this. Okay, there we are. That's those patches done down that side there. I think I have one more somewhere. Just here. Apart from that, the bellows are looking in remarkably good shape for these about 80 years old or whatever. So those are my patches, just to tidy up the corners on that side, as that's going to be fine. So that's the end of this little video. So lots of little bits and bobs really, getting a few things done. And now I can start reassembling the accordion, putting the bass and treble sides back onto the bellows, putting in the pins. I'm going to reattach the bass strap and fit some straps to it as well, and then I can start the process of tuning. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope that was useful.